Democratic Congressman Greg Landsman from Ohio. Thank you for your patience, sir. What's your reaction to what we saw in Boulder yesterday?
Well, it's terrible, and it's what a lot of us thought was inevitable with the rise of anti-Semitism and some of the language that we've been hearing. I mean, as a Jewish member of Congress, I've been living this for the last 18 months, but also as I have a master's in theological studies. I went to divinity school. I studied the history of Christianity and Islam and Judaism, and so much of the history of Judaism is the history of anti-Semitism, and we're seeing all of this play out again, which is there's language where Jews are otherized, and these tropes are used where all of a sudden we're not only otherized but demonized to the point where people start to exclude us, we get expelled from places or killed. And you're seeing that, and the way to fight back is through understanding, trying to get people to understand better, in addition to better security and way better leadership nationally.
So he allegedly used the term Free Palestine, which is what the suspect here in Washington, who killed two people at a Jewish Heritage Month event, said allegedly after we saw him saying it on tape after that murder. Today, we also, according to police, know that this suspect said, "I want to avenge my people." Can you connect dots there, and can you explain, not just from your perch as a lawmaker, but also given the background that you have in your studies and your schooling?
Yeah, so there's three phrases here that people should get to know better, and this is part of stopping anti-Semitism is understanding it. The American Jewish Committee, the AJC, this is what they do. You can go to their website and download content, share it with everybody. This is part of how we stop this. One of them is the use of Zionism, and I believe he said, and Zionists. Zionism is simply this idea of Jewish self-determination, where Jews, because of the history, but also just because we're human beings, have the right to self-determination, that we believe in having a place for us. And that is true for everybody. Everyone should have a place for themselves. And so there isn't anything wrong with that, I don't believe. And to say you can't have that is anti-Semitic. Also to say I'm going to end Zionists, that is a threat to kill Jews. The second has to do with the global intifada. The intifada, there were two, included, wasn't limited to, but included suicide bombings and killing of Jews. So you don't want to globalize that. And then the third has to do with Free Palestine. If you believe that Israel is there and should not be there, the idea of Free Palestine means not peace for Palestinians, which this group was supporting, which I support and am working hard for. Free Palestine means getting rid of all of the Jews, either by kicking them out or by killing them. That means that there is no more Israel.
Just a few minutes ago, President Trump responded for the first time on his social media platform. He focused on the fact that this suspect is apparently in the U.S. illegally. He said yesterday's horrific attack on Boulder, Colorado, will not be tolerated in the United States of America. He came in through Biden's ridiculous open border policy, and then he went on to write, "This is yet another example of why we must keep our border secure, deport illegal anti-American radicals." He went on, and then did say his heart goes out to the victims of the terrible tragedy. This is obviously a very important point of this story to a lot of Republicans and a lot of people, regardless of their party affiliation, that as they learn that this man was in America illegally.
Yeah, what I want more than anything else is to solve this problem and to keep people safe. And, I don't want the further escalation of this. What we want is a de-escalation. And so there's three things. Again, one is, more investments in security across the board, not just for Jewish communities, but for everyone that is being targeted in this moment. My daughter was going to a Jewish event yesterday, and my wife couldn't find it, and then she said, "Oh, there are the cops." That's how we find our events now. And so security is a big piece. The second is we got to pass the anti-Semitism bill, which will help with education and training, but people shouldn't wait. They should go to the AJC and other organizations that can help them ensure that people are on the right side of this line. Because if you cross the line, it does lead to terrible things, including what we saw yesterday. And the third is leadership, and this is where I wish the administration would pursue a more thoughtful, strategic path, which would be to depoliticize this, get a top Republican, a top Democrat, work on this together with the AJCs of the world, and take this on, every aspect of it, and get the politics out of it.
That would be amazing. I think you're describing utopia, but I'll take it. Congressman, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on and expressing what you did. Really appreciate it. Up next, President